Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
We get this from the Yates Flooring Center chat line from the Double T 97.3 mobile app, presented by Happy State Bank. Good morning from Lubbock Hotel. Doesn't say which one. So it's, I think, clearly not the sketchy one that's behind us. Spent the afternoon yesterday with friend and business associates in Slide, Texas, which is, I think, literally past Slide Road. Had a good visit. I went to the Walker and watched Texas Tech beat Boise State. Really enjoyed the game. Fun day. I saw Dr. Mike Gustafson at the game. Okay. Probably hanging out along the fence. He said he sat near him but only spoke to him, did not want to bother him because Jamie wanted to know if you'd gotten a picture with him.
I think Mr. Gustafson, he sits in the crowd for soccer games. He's not a fence dweller.
Oh, he's not? Okay. When I've heard him talking with like Coach Stone and stuff, they've talked about, hanging on the fence, but do you think he's a sit in the seat guy?
He's a sit. Usually when I go, I'm usually a fence dweller, and I never see him. He's always in the seat. Coach
Stone encourages people that are going like for the first few times just to see how physical it is to hang out on the fence. Would you agree with that? You see the physical nature of the game.
I like being up close and personal. It's cool.
Okay.
Just real quick so that the people from Slide don't get angry. Slide isn't past Slide Road, it's down Slide Road.
Yeah.
Like when you go to Slide, head south, and you will get to Slide.
Yeah.
Much like the Clovis Highway, Slide Road takes you to Slide.
Gotcha. All right, thank you.
I'm saving everybody their thumbs right now.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. We don't want to wear anybody out early.
I do not want people thinking you don't like Slide.
No, I love Slide. It's going to be a hot day today, so we don't want anybody to tax themselves early on. I don't know how much preseason football that you guys saw this weekend. I'm going to guess not much, but how about Baron Morton's performance with the New England Patriots? Throws the game-winning pass, and it was a nifty pass down the sideline. The receiver's running on the fly, and Barron hits him for the 37-yard touchdown pass in the final minute of the game as the Patriots won. But then also he had to fill in as the punter. He punted 3 times in the ball game, averaging 44.3 yards per punt. This for a guy who has not punted since high school.
Yeah, when I turned it on just before Barron was about to take his first snaps as a quarterback, and they had mentioned that he'd already been in the game as a punter. I thought, oh, that's pretty funny, and they were impressed with how well he had done. And I think if you remember, he punted for NFL scouts.
Yes.
And we all knew about how good of a punter he was in high school, so it didn't shock me, and it led me to believe, well, they probably had an injury to a punter or whatever. But
yeah, he was the emergency punter, right?
Barron, the quarterback, it was. I thought he looked great. I think he was out there for 4, maybe 5 drives. I thought he looked really good, and then it was very reminiscent of the Texas game in 2008 in that on that game-winning drive, he has a ball tipped that's an easy interception for the Eagles, and it goes through their hands somehow. They drop it, and then 30 seconds later, he throws the game-winning touchdown pass. So he was impressive, though. I mean, he was on target. He looked confident. He looked like he was understanding the offense. So I thought it was a really good showing for him. And I didn't see him in the first preseason game, but we heard good reviews about that. So I think he's probably making a push for that number 2 spot there with the Patriots. But I think at the very least, he's solidified that one way or another, they're going to probably keep him in the organization.
Maybe practice squad or on the third man or something. Who knows? Maybe even a backup. He was 13 of 17, 129 yards, and punted 3 times. He said after the game, tonight was fun. I wasn't expecting to punt. It's been since high school since I've punted. You've got to make the most of your opportunity when it comes. So I tried to do that tonight. Coach came up to me and said, if we got to punt, if we've got to punt on this drive, you're going out there. I went over to the net, hit a few balls. He said, I asked the long snapper, how far back do I need to stand? He told me 15 yards, catch the ball, and then just put it down there. And he said, because I saw one of his, part of his interview after the game, and he said that the first one, he goes, the guys came at him pretty fast. But he said he had mentioned that during his pro day that he had punted just like you had talked about, just because he wanted to show kind of what he could do, but he hadn't punted at all in practice or in a game in college here at Texas Tech. So good for him. Good for him to recognize that, hey, I'm fighting for a job, and the more available I can be, the more of an opportunity I may have. I'm not saying he's going to be the punter, but now they can look at him and go, okay, well, he can punt in a game.
Yeah, it probably is not going to make any factor in whether they keep him, as a quarterback, but it's good to have versatile players. So yeah.
You like to have somebody that can.
I mean, a team going, you know what? These two are neck and neck. I think we'll keep this guy because he can punt. I mean, how many times in the history of the NFL have we seen a quarterback back there punting?
Oh, Danny White did that, but that's been, 40 some odd years. 40,
Point made.
Yeah,
okay.
40,
been a few minutes. Yes.
I think Billy Kilmer might have done that too for the Redskins back in the day. Donnie Anderson, of course, did that as well. But yeah.
See, Chuck just ruined my joke. Because if he hadn't said Donnie Anderson, I could have replied, who? But he got Donnie Anderson out there too quick. So if I had said who on Donnie Anderson, I would be run out of town on a rail.
Yeah.
Because, that's blasphemy around here.
Reggie Virgil for the in the Cowboys game, in which the Cowboys won 34-13. Reggie Virgil caught a couple of balls, and they talked pretty glowingly of him. 26 yards was his deal. He was targeted just twice, but I think the Cardinals are really liking what they see out of Reggie Virgil so far. At least that's what it sounds like.
That's good.
So, and Adrian Taylor Demerson, who's been on the team for a couple of years, had one tackle
and a flag and an injury.
Yeah. But are you feeling? I realize it's preseason, and you had a lot of guys playing against each other that you may not see. But I mean, at least they're winning. They're putting points on the board. It looks like you got a backup quarterback, Jeff.
There are 4 guys that are gonna play their way into the roster, and I don't know how the Cowboys are gonna figure out having 5 wide receivers. Like I don't know how they're gonna. The math isn't mathing for a 53-man roster, but. Malik and Brown are absolutely doing things for the Cowboys on offense.
No doubt about it. I mean, you look at what Camden Brown has been doing. He had 2 balls for 77 yards, and Jonathan Mingo had
not Malik. I'm sorry, Mingo.
Yeah, Jonathan Mingo had 2 for 62. So. Yeah, it's impressive so far.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Time for this day in sports history. Today is Monday, August the 24th, 2026. With this day in sports history, here he is, Jeff McGuire.
We haven't heard from our guy in a while.
Paavo Nurmi?
We're fixing that today.
Okay.
1923, Paavo Nurmi of Finland runs a world record 3-mile time, 14 minutes, 11.2 seconds in Stockholm during an intermediate time in a 5,000-meter event. So while running a different race, ran a world record in the 3-mile.
Yeah, we don't hear about the 3-mile or anything like that. It's all in the K's now.
Well, yeah. 1951, in a move that Chuck Heinz would greatly appreciate. In fact, if Joey McGuire would institute to this on Saturdays, he would be a huge fan. Bill Veeck, Major League Baseball St. Louis Browns owner, holds Grandstand Manager Day as coaches hold up cards for fans to vote on strategy options. It worked out as the Browns win 5-3 over the A's.
Sounds fun.
That does sound fun. It's like, should I pooch kick it here? No. I just would want to be I just want to have that one. I'd like to be the only one that got to vote, though. That'd be really cool. Just some key plays.
1992. NFL Cleveland Browns suffer their worst preseason loss, 56-3 to the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, it's preseason.
Man, I got to tell you, Saturday, I don't know if I was driving around or if I was at home already, but I was listening to Double T 97.3, and they were talking about the Cleveland Browns quarterback battle between Deshaun Watson and Shadur Sanders. And I'm like, oh, my God, I just don't want to hear about this. So I flipped it over to 100.7 The Score, and the hosts were talking about Deshaun Watson and Shadur Sanders. Seems to be a hot topic.
Yeah, it does. I mean, Sanders started this weekend's game and looked way better than Deshaun Watson, who played in the second half. And, of course, Watson was booed. And he says, you know, it's not about my play, it's personal, and I think it's disrespectful. Deshaun, you should never be allowed to use that word ever again the rest of your life.
Yeah.
With what you've done. You just stop. Just stop.
2007. Former Red Raider Josh Bard goes to the plate 6 times and collects 5 hits and 3 RBI in a 14-3 win over the Padres over the Phillies. That's a good day.
Yeah, no doubt.
And in 2025, Seattle Mariners slugger Cal Raleigh hits 2 home runs, including the 49th, breaking the MLB season record for a catcher, an 11-4 win over the Oakland A's.
And now he's batting 161.
It is National Peach Pie.
Peach pie.
And Waffle Day.
Peach pie.
I would prefer the waffle. I'm not anti-peach pie. I like peach cobbler better.
Yeah, I'm with you on the cobbler. That's kind of...
What's the difference?
Upside down, basically. The crust is on top. Pie, you have like the pie. The crust is on the bottom with the filling.
Yeah, but you could put crust on top too, couldn't you?
You can, but traditional, like that's really the difference between the two.
I didn't know that you didn't you don't put crust on top of the peach pie. Like you put crust on top of apple pie.
Sometimes you do, sometimes
you don't. Right. But with cobbler, the crust is on the top.
I don't think I've ever had apple pie without crust on top.
I have.
Okay. I'll take you.
Happy birthday. Dave Chappelle is 53. Vince McMahon is 81. Craig Kilborn, 64. Marley Martin is 61. Reggie Miller, 61. Steve Gutenberg, 68. Cal Ripken Jr., 66. And Arian Foster is 40. And on this day in 2006, the International Astronomical Union, votes to demote Pluto from the 9th planet from the sun to one of the dozens of known dwarf planets. The vote followed a week of debate by the IAU, who voted on multiple proposals, including one that kept not just Pluto as a planet, but also added 2 new planets, the asteroid Ceres and Pluto's moon Charon. The ultimate proposal defining the word planets, supposedly, once and for all was settled. Planets are celestial bodies large enough to have made round by their gravitational orbit, and they orbit the sun, and have pushed away nearby planetary objects and debris. In other words, they've cleaned out their orbital path. 2 years later, the IAU decided to name the dwarf planet similar to Pluto, Plutoids, grouping Pluto and Eris together.
So is Pluto a planet today or not?
It is not.
Okay.
It is a Plutoid. It is a dwarf planet. The argument that I heard that made me change my mind.
Okay.
If Pluto was here, like in our orbit, if Pluto got as close as we were to the sun, it would have a tail like a comet.
And big ears.
And that's this day in sports history.
Drool over dog.
I think the funniest thing there was that you listened to an argument about it.
Well, I didn't want Pluto not to be a planet. I like Pluto. It's pink and has a heart. It can't be all bad.
Yeah. 6:51 this morning here on the morning drive. I saw
Does
this.
our planet have a heart? No, it does not have a heart. How does Pluto have a heart?
I don't know. I don't know. I saw this weekend, and I thought this was pretty cool. DeMarcus Ware moved his daughter into college this past weekend. Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to know where she's going to school?
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech is correct.
Awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And he was helping loading in with all the stuff. So good for him. I thought that was pretty cool. That Hall of Famer, Dallas Cowboy, Denver Bronco, 2-time champ, all that kind of stuff. Is sending his darling daughter to Texas Tech. So
it's great.
Yeah.
Now leave her alone and give her privacy. Same with DeMarcus when he comes to visit his daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought that was. I didn't say her name or anything. I thought this would please you. I saw this weekend because I think you're a fan of this. I'm certainly a fan of this. I think Jeff is a fan of this movie. National Treasure 3 has a script, and they're going to do a third National Treasure. And Nicolas Cage will star as Ben Gates.
That's good.
Okay, I'm interested. But it's also been a while since they've done National Treasure 2.
Mm-hmm.
And Nicolas Cage isn't as spry as he once was.
Yeah, I don't know how much running there'll be in 3 as opposed to 2 and 1, and stunts and stuff like that.
It'll be I will wait to see the reviews and see how they have handled it, because I don't want to ruin 2 really good movies by adding a cruddy third.
Okay, I mean,
how does it ruin the other 2?
Because it's a nice set right now of 2 really good movies. You add the third one in, and it brings your average down.
Okay,
2 for 2 is better than 2 for 3.
Sure, we've learned that. We learned that earlier today.
Yeah. Well, no, we learned that 2 of 3 is the same as 2 of 3.
2 of 3 is the same as 2 of 3. Anyway, I thought it was. I didn't know. I didn't think you would find a way to poo-poo it, but you did. So
I'm interested.
I'm looking forward to it, Chuck.
Thank you, Jamie. Goodness, you guys sometimes are hard to please. I mean, we're all hard to please. I mean, I stand in that company as well. All right, we got plenty more.
Says the guy who doesn't like Coronado and Monterey playing on Friday night.
I know, right? I know. Like I said, I mean, I can stand in that boat as well. Somebody says this. Good morning from San Angelo. It's going to be hot today, 107.
Yikes.
Man.
Good luck out there.
Hey, Chuck, Slide is in New Homes School District. Okay, go Slide.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. 7:45, we'll have the boom, boom, boom at 7:30 this morning, Jamie's question of the day. All right, and you may not be worried about this, and I'm certainly on my list of things to worry about today. This isn't among them, but it is interesting to me. Jalen Brewster, who has been playing at Cedar Hill High School, is transferring to Buford, Georgia. No real reason why, except what he said was that this gives him the opportunity to reach his goal of graduating in December and staying on track academically and athletically. This from the Dallas Morning News.
And he can do that easier in Buford?
Apparently so. I'm grateful for my time at Cedar Hill and excited for what's ahead of me. That seems
odd.
Yeah, it seemed odd to me too. The Cedar Hill coach, when reached for comment, said he wasn't aware of this. Apparently, though, this has been going on with high-quality elite recruits in the Dallas area here recently. For instance, 4-star quarterback Colton Nussmeier committed to Georgia, moved to Louisiana for his senior year. Also,
what's going on with the school systems in Georgia?
I don't know. Most recently, it was announced that 4-star UCLA pledge George Toya was transferring from Trophy Club Byron Nelson to Westminster Academy in Florida. That I understand, because there's a lot of those academies that you basically go play sports instead of math, He's rated the 16th best defensive lineman in the nation in the class of 2027, and he's the brother of the Cowboys defensive tackle. And then you have the situation with Brewster, who's been courted by everybody under the sun. He's committed to the Red Raiders. But the question
like
is
a long flirting going on with LSU.
Yeah, and that's the next point that I'm getting ready to let you know is apparently, according to On3, he's going to make a decision this week between Texas Tech and LSU. With regard to Texas Tech, he said this: culture about it is great. Everything about it is great. Coaching staff is elite. They get players to the league, develop well, ran like an NFL program. Atmosphere is good, no distraction. Small town, football town. Okay. So he's always raved about, Lubbock culture, family atmosphere, everybody playing together, the way they feed into their players, the words, the practices, practice like games, culture for sure. They run their program. They were underdogs, and nobody thought they would make it this far. It was me looking for a program where I can be a better self, have a great circle around me, and make it to the next level. So his dad played in the NFL. He said it's a family atmosphere with a lot of these coaches. It's all about ball. That's it. With Coach McGuire and Tech, especially Coach McGuire, you can tell he cares about family and cares about the players, and that's the main thing I'm looking for in a school for my son. So we'll see. Somebody says this with regard to Brewster, Raider Cabo. Chuck, until Brewster's family sells the home they bought in Lubbock, you probably shouldn't worry too much. Hey, people buy and sell homes here all the time. Apparently, high schoolers can get NIL in Georgia and they can't in Texas, Jamie. Okay, so somebody else said they're moving to get NIL. South Texas Ambassador Preston says this: Cedar Hill was giving him hell academic-wise. He can start receiving NIL in Georgia. This allows him to get paid and graduate early. Okay.
Sounds like the school systems in Georgia are fantastic.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So anyway, that's that. He's the highest rated recruit according to Rivals that Texas Tech has ever gotten a commitment from. So, but until he runs out the tunnel, he ain't here.
Correct.
So he ain't here right now, and he's
not eligible to be here.
And he
right
can't.
now.
I was just getting ready to say, and he can't be here this year either. So that's that. Somebody on the chat line asked about Donovan Atwell from a basketball standpoint. Well, right now he's not eligible. That's because of what happened on Friday with the NCAA. Man, they were like the Washington Generals on Friday. They finally won a game.
That's good.
Well, good for them. Bad for us, right? I mean, you'd love to have Atwell back, but
he'd be a difference maker.
In the scheme of things, so they won this court battle on Friday. The 10th Circuit Court of Appeals granted the NCAA a stay Friday morning in an order that now reverses the federal judge's decision that previously opened the door for all athletes who started college in the 2022-2023 academic year and played for 4 consecutive seasons to return for a 5th. So you know that there's going to be other fights now. So this doesn't affect the other guys like Darion Williams and Jermichael Stillwell, who have recently signed, because they have state injunctions protecting them. So this does affect Donovan Atwell because he did not have one. And apparently look, this is
because
just,
he was focused on playing in the NBA.
Well, no, Jamie, it's a little bit more than that. Apparently he dropped out of the North Carolina injunction because it would have required him to pay his attorneys 15% of what his was going to make from his NIL. So now probably he's going to lawyer up and pay the freight to get a state injunction so that he can make the money to play here. That's what I read. Okay.
My head hurts.
Super exciting.
I know.
I got a great idea. Hear me out.
No, nobody will listen, Jeff. There's too many simple ideas.
How about
that nobody will listen to?
How about we wait for basketball season and cheer for the guys who run out of the tunnel.
Tunnel. Yep.
What do you think? I think this is a good plan.
Somebody says on the Yates Flooring Center chat line, I hope we all realize how stupid this sounds. Well, yeah, when you say it out loud, it doesn't sound very good.
I mean, the story coming out today is if the Browns are cutting a tight end, and if he clears waivers, he's going back to LSU to play.
Yes.
Or he wasn't at LSU, he was at Ole Miss before.
Yeah. How nuts is that?
What are you doing?
It's just nuts. Sooner in Lubbock says couldn't have done that in Texas. Somebody else says Nussmeier not the same at all. He was ruled ineligible because he tried to transfer to the school and then was denied. So he just moved to Georgia where they allowed him to play. Well, but he's probably also getting some money. Yeah, it's just crazy. It is just crazy how this is all transpiring. Meanwhile, school has started, by the way. Now, Mr. Atwell, I don't, presume he could make up work if or maybe he's enrolled and going anyway until this is all settled. But there's others out there that you'd like to potentially get into the fold.
Others.
Yeah, I think there's probably some others. Well, I mean, you got, at least one on the football team. And who knows about the other sports? Mm-hmm. What's kind of lurking out there in the weeds, so to speak?
Lurking.
Speaking of the weeds, I heard Thetford say this on Saturday. I thought it was pretty funny. It's been so hot, even the weeds are struggling. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, they are. It's been hot, no question.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
Are there people that project us to be in a bowl?
I don't think so. I think for the most part,
that would be really disappointing.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but wasn't there someone last week that picked Tech to be 8-4? That clearly would have put you in a bowl game.
That would have put you in a bowl game.
Yeah. So there's going to be some people out there that are.
Yeah.
Man, that'll be disappointing.
That'd be.
It's interesting just because now that we're a team contending for the playoff, being in a bowl game doesn't sound fun at all.
It doesn't.
It really doesn't.
Yeah, doesn't sound.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like anything that.
Back when we weren't a contender, I still loved the bowls. And I still enjoy watching them. I'm just saying for Tech to be in one, it won't be nearly as, I don't know, exciting.
No.
Yeah.
No, we're not interested in that.
Yeah. All right. So my question for you guys today, I'm going to admit I'm making it difficult on you guys. Okay. I'm making it difficult on you guys.
We should probably.
I'm going to take away some things from you. Okay.
Okay.
What is the thing more than anything else you want to see next Saturday in the game against Abilene Christian? And I am taking away health of any player, and I am taking away winning the game. Okay? Can't have anything to do with health. Can't have anything to do with Will Hammond looked healthy, or everybody came out of the game healthy. Can't do anything to do with that.
Okay.
Health and winning are taken off the board.
Can I say like for Will Hammond to throw 7 touchdowns?
You can say that.
Okay.
You can say that. Why Will Hammond was in the game long enough to throw 7 touchdowns against Abilene Christian, that leads me to believe that things didn't go well for your defense. So if you said that, I would have said, I do not want to see that.
Okay.
Unless it's the concept of we need to get him some reps. He's only had 127 dropbacks. We wanted to get him a bunch more, and he threw 7 touchdown passes on 7 throws. So
I would still think it would not be the right thing to play him 4 quarters against Abilene Christian.
Yeah.
I'm similar to where Chuck's at, except that I am looking for.
Well, that's not my official answer. I was just asking if I could.
Oh.
But go right ahead. Go right ahead.
I thought that was your official answer.
Go right ahead.
I would like to see a Micah Hudson show in the first half. I would like to see him grow into the outside receiver slot and put on a showcase to show everybody the talent that he has gotten, that he has, and the work that he has put in, and I think that would just be fun.
Okay.
I want to see all three running backs, whether they have receiving yards, punt return yards, rushing yards, whatever. All three running backs have in excess of 100 yards of offense.
Okay, whether it be rushing or receiving?
Yeah, or punt returning.
What about kickoff return?
Or kickoff return, Jacoby Williams.
Okay.
I mean, he could take it to the house in the opening play, and then I'd be like, okay, there we go.
He could. That could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna go off the radar here. I am of the opinion that what you see good in this game, I'm not going to say it's fool's gold, but you can't be too confident in it, right?
Okay, sure.
Okay, if your offensive line dominates, your defensive line dominates. I'm not saying Abilene Christian is horrible, but it's not going to lead you to believe, hey, we're going to push around the bullies of the Big 12 and in the college football playoff, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to come out of it going, okay, you did that against ACU. Now, okay, let's see you do that against Houston in 2 weeks, right? That's probably what we're going to say. Mm-hmm. If Will Hammond looks really good, we're like, okay, you did that, when you're going up against the defense of ACU, but can you do that against Arizona, right? So sure. It's one of those games. I'm always nervous about kickers in that I feel like kickers are odd ducks, and it feels like you see kickers just be really good and then it start to slip and then it just go crazy off the radar. Okay? They're gone.
Yeah.
I want to see Stone Harrington was terrific last year. I just want to see Stone Harrington go out there and be great in game one, because Stone Harrington kicking against ACU is the same as him kicking against Houston. It's the same as his kicking against Utah or Arizona or Arizona State.
Yeah, okay. The rush might be a little bit different and all that kind of stuff. Okay.
Barely. I just want to see Stone Harrington go out there and be money. And so I'm not worried about him having this great season and then just not being as good the next year.
Are you wanting to see a 50-yard field goal after the offense stalls?
I just want to see him be consistent.
Okay.
Just consistent. Make 37-yarders and 44-yarders. If he misses one from 53, I'm okay with it.
It's funny that you bring that up with regard to kickers like that they start off great and then they can have a tendency to kind of tail off or crash or whatever.
Or it can be year to year, and like in this situation, or you just never know. They're just so odd that all of a sudden, and it's such a mental position, right? Mm-hmm. And I worry about the college guys a little bit more than the professionals, but you even see the guys in the pros.
Well, I'm going to give you an example from Saturday night.
Yeah.
I mean, Harrison Butker, before halftime, kicks a 69-yard field goal, which if it had been in a regular season game, that's an NFL record. And he hit it by 3 or 4 yards. But then in the second half, he misses an extra point because it hits the upright, but that's after a holding penalty that took a point off the board. And then with 3 minutes and some change, he misses a 43-yard field goal that would have put him ahead. So that speaks right to your point of what you're talking about with regard to kickers.
I just want to be confident that last year wasn't his peak, and we won't get that again this year. And so if he goes out there and is 3 for 3 with 3 field goals between 35 and 46, I'll be great. I actually want to see him kick.
Okay.
I don't want us to score touchdowns every time. I want to see him kick.
See what happens. Okay. All right. We get this. Micah Hudson, 3 touchdowns, starting off the year strong. That speaks to what Jeff said. We get this. Will Hammond doesn't take off and run. Okay. I want to see the defense pitch a shutout with ACU ending with negative total yards. That's from Syntex Hank. That'd be fun. Negative offensive yards by ACU. Okay.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Good morning with Jamie Lent, Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. Great to have you with us today. Hour 3 of 3. An hour from now, it's the end of the bench on 100.7 The Score. We'll see what those fellas have been up to over the weekend, what's going on inside their little world. And then Dan Patrick here on Double T 97.3 an hour from now. Coming up tonight at 6 o'clock on 100.7 The Score, High School Fan Zone, the premiere edition for this year. Coaches from Memorial, Lubbock Cooper, Friendship, and Liberty will all pay a visit to the First United Bank studio. They will take your thoughts and comments, if you have them, on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. And I'm presuming, if you wanted to visit with them, that they could take your call on the Visual Edge IT hotline. Like if you're the number 3 quarterback's mom, don't be calling up and going, "Coach, why is my son not playing?" Okay, don't do that. Or if you're the dad of the number 6 wide receiver going, "Hey, my son's got great hands, man. He's open all the time." No, don't be. That's sidebar conversations. Okay. And if they have the cheerleader sponsor on and your daughter didn't get picked, sorry, this is not the forum for critiquing the other cheerleaders or the flags or the band or the head trumpet player, or, any of those things. Okay? This is for real questions tonight.
Okay.
On the Visual Edge IT hotline. All right. That'll be from 6 until 7:30 tonight.
What if they have a question about why some old man cut in front of their kindergartner in the lunch line?
What
if they have a question about that?
Why do we keep going back to that?
Because it's hilarious that you got called out by a 6-year-old.
I did it one time, and that was, I had my grandson there, and he wasn't even in kindergarten. I think he was in kindergarten. I just needed to get something for him.
This is now the 4th revision to that story.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're keeping track. Hey, just so you know, I don't think that they've not announced it yet, but they're going to have it. I don't know what time it is, and I don't think I'm out of school here by telling you this, but because it's normally on the schedule, and maybe they'll release it today, maybe it'll be tomorrow. But this is my understanding that they're going to have the autograph day for the Red Raiders on Saturday. Okay.
Okay.
That's my understanding.
That's good.
And hopefully that will come down the times will come down the pike today, but kind of. Well, I don't think it's that out of school.
That reminder came to Chuck, Jeff, when we talked about him cutting in line in front of little kids. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'll have to do that on Saturday too."
No, it's just me and the little phenom. The young phenom's got rehearsal, and Daddy Phenom's got rehearsal as well. They're in both. Moonlight musical stuff.
Daddy Phenom.
I don't know if that's really usually it's son-in-law number 1. But he'd probably be just rather be just by his name. But the young Phenom, he's got it going on. He's 13 years old. He thinks he knows. He's got it going right now.
I mean, isn't he the number 1 son-in-law since he's the only son-in-law?
He's the only one, right? So he's number 1.
He also got you grandkids, so that automatically puts him up higher in the list.
Absolutely, he's way up there on the pecking order, so to speak.
And it's clear he's not going anywhere because he's been around a while.
All right, here we go. So we'll have Rangers and the White Sox tonight from Chicago, 6 o'clock, and then first pitch at 6:40. Let's see. Somebody says this: legal advice is Chuck's next specialty. I have seen a number of those law shows. I feel like that I'm pretty adept at various cases, court cases, things along those lines. All right, so
we cover college sports, so we're also very in the loop on court cases.
Yes. So this came out from ESPN, I guess, on Saturday morning. This is from Kyle Bonagura and Mark Schlabach. Okay. This is what they predict, okay, for the college football playoffs. First of all, Bonagura has Texas Tech as an 8 seed, Jamie. And as an 8 seed, they will play host to Alabama at Galaxy Stadium for a home playoff game.
That sounds like fun. What's the date on that?
They
on my schedule.
He lists the games are scheduled for the campus sites December 18th and December 19th. All these games are listed as December 19th. There was not a prediction as to what game was going to be on Friday, December 18th. So he has Tech playing host to Alabama. Okay, Alabama being a 9 seed. Mark Schlabach.
So that would put you as probably losing a game in the regular season and then winning the Big 12 championship. That would be my guess if you're the 8th seed.
Okay, Schlabach has Texas Tech at a 9 seed playing at number 8, Indiana.
Wouldn't be as fun.
Would not be as fun. Here's the...
Wouldn't that really stink if Tech was playing in those first week games, the first round, but it wasn't at home? We wouldn't get to host it? That would really stink out loud. I wonder what the fan base's desire would be to...
Travel?
Yeah, to go to Indiana to watch a game.
That's
if it was at Notre Dame, you would think, okay, this is cool. It's Notre Dame.
Go
blah
to
blah
Notre
blah.
Dame.
Indiana doesn't have that. I know they're the defending national champs, but
it's quite a hike to Indianapolis.
Nobody's talking about. Oh, man, I can't wait. I got to go see Indiana Stadium.
Where is Indiana? It's not Indianapolis. It's can't remember what little town it's in. College town. Okay, so now for the quarterfinals. Bonagura has Texas Tech winning at home over Alabama and moving on to play, unfortunately, the number 1 seed, Ohio State. The quarterfinals are slated for the Cotton Bowl, the Rose Bowl, the Peach Bowl, and these would all be determined on Selection Day, which is December the 6th. Okay? Okay. Mr. Schlabach, Bloomington, thank you very much off the chat line. Bloomington. Thank you, resident Aggie. I just couldn't think of it. Unfortunately, Schlabach has Texas Tech losing to Indiana. And then Schlabach also has BYU as a 6 seed, and that has them advancing to play Notre Dame in the quarterfinals.
Rematch.
Yeah. Which that sounds like when you say it like that, then you get 2 Big 12 teams in, according to Schlabach, and Texas Tech ain't one of them. Is one of them, but doesn't advance on. But it sounds like BYU would win the Big 12 championship game. Okay. Son-in-law number 1 reports Daddy Femon is a bit much, and no, I'm not going anywhere, okay, which is good to report.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.